talked about it earlier. It's been all the rage since Saturday. I gotta know since I got here. Run us through Paul Tracy. What happened on the track? What happened afterwards with you and Paul Tracy?
I mean, I'll start from the beginning. I mean, we were always cool. Like, I talked to him, like, always had conversation, nothing ever wrong. And then we go race and stuff, and I feel like a lot of people know Paul's history in the SRX series. It came up on the screen that he's been involved in an incident every race. So, like, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I was just running my race, and he ends up. So I originally thought Ernie hit me when he got into Ernie, and the only reason Ernie saved it is because Ernie got into me. He hit Ernie hard enough. He should have wrecked, but I was on the outside of Ernie, so it kind of caught him. But then it got me all jacked up. So we both almost wrecked. And then I thought Ernie hit me, so I went up and I was like, with Ernie, kind of mad at Ernie, but turns out it wasn't him. And then my crew chief came on the radio and was like, hey, it's not Ernie. I was like, all right, no problem, all good. And so all of a sudden, I get behind Paul since he hit both of us out of the way trying to wreck us. And so we came back, and I'm trying to get by him. And we don't have spotters in the SRX series. So you really have to watch your mirrors, and you're accountable for watching your mirrors. And that's something that I feel like I'm decent at watching my mirrors because of stock car racing. You're constantly driving out of your mirror. And so I'm on the inside of him every time, chop my nose. And I'm like, at the point where I'm like, dude.
When you say chop my nose, because I've seen it on your Instagram.
Okay.
Go through the casual race fan. What does that mean?
So say like you're coming into a corner. Here's me, here's Paul. Say we're like this, and here's the bottom of the corner, and I'm on the bottom, and he just turns down. It goes like this, and it just takes your nose around.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead.
So he did that numerous times. And I was like, he's not going to give me the inside when I'm at his door like that. He's just not going to give it to me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not. And every time I checked up for him because I wasn't trying to wreck him. That's not my intention to go out there and just wreck people for no reason. And so coming down the last couple laps, I was like, I got to go. I'm getting held up. Like, I want a chance to get on the podium. I'm not going to just sit here and just go slower because I don't want to get in a collision or an incident. And so I go down there, and I actually had the inside on him the corner before, and he hits me down, and he tries to at least, and I just stuck it in there. I was like, I'm not moving this time. I'm not checking up. That was a corner before. I got to run off the corner because he came down and hit me, and I didn't check up. And so I got to run on his inside. I looked at the video. My nose was at his name at his door. I was at his door. And so coming down to the corner, he goes down. I knew he was going to try to chop my nose again. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And in my head, I was like, hopefully he just bounces off and doesn't wreck. But if he wrecks, that's not my fault. I'm holding my line on the bottom. Yeah. So he got all spun out because and I know he's not a stock car racer, and that's what I do. Just same way, if I went to IndyCar, I wouldn't understand how wrecks happen in IndyCar. So when you go down and chop someone's nose like that, it gets the person on the inside loose also. So you have to gather it up. So when he saw me on the inside hits me, as soon as he hits me, you see me straighten the wheel out because I'm trying to save it because it got me loose. I'm trying to gather it up real quick because once again, he chopped my nose down. And he took that as, oh no, look, she turned right into me. You know how hard it is to turn a stock car right? It's very hard because they're built to turn left.
Right.
And so I'm not going down there at Slinger turning right. I can tell you that, and I can assure you that. So I'm just trying to straighten the wheel out, trying to gather it up because it chopped my nose. And so then he gets all spun out about that. And I'm like, whatever, not a big deal. Like, he's been involved in, like, he had to have seen that coming. I didn't think it was a big deal. And so all of a sudden after the race, everyone's all pumped. Like, even his, like, mechanics were coming up to me and be like, dude, that wasn't your fault. Like, he did that to himself. And so I was like, all right, whatever. Like, all good. Like, I was happy he finished fourth. Me and Tony were battling for a podium spot at the end. I was super pumped about that. And then I go back to my, our camper area, and there's two campers. And so half the drivers in one, half the drivers in the other. And Paul was in the hauler that I was in. And so I go in the lounge real quick. I'm going to get changed, and my boyfriend's down in, like, the main area. And while I'm changing in, like, the room area, And so all of a sudden I hear my boyfriend start arguing and I'm like, oh my God, he just walked in. And so he starts like complaining to my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's like, I hold the camera. What do you want me to do? Like, he's like, oh, that's not cool, dude. And like, dude. And so he starts arguing with him. So I'm trying to get changed real quick so I can walk out there. And I was like, I walked out there. I tried to be super nice, super nice after hearing what he was saying and arguing with my boyfriend about. And so I walked down there. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to take you out, but I'm not going to check up for you chopping my nose. Like, I'm sorry. But I'm not just going to sit here and just let you do that.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't trying to go into that corner and take you out. You're the one that did that to yourself.
So how do you respond to that?
So he starts arguing again and trying to prove his point. And we just keep going at it. And like, hey, I was like, hey, he's like, he first said, after I said all that stuff, he was like, all right, fine. Well, when I just go down the inside of someone in the corner, I'll just turn right and take them out. And just talking like all that stuff. And so my boyfriend says, hey, well, first of all, the person in the upper groove is going to hold their line, so you won't even have to do that. And so he's like, whatever, and storms out. And then he gets on social media, and
so he then followed up on social media after you guys had already talked?
We already talked. Like, he's the one that stormed out of there because he couldn't keep proving his point because I already said what I needed to say. So he's getting on social media trying to be this big hero over here, trying to prove his point. And I didn't understand because he kept posting stuff and people were taking my side and I wasn't even trying to make it sides. Like, I didn't post anything about it. He kept tagging me in Instagram stories, and at some point I officially was like, I'm done with this. So I added one of the Instagram stories back explaining my side. So people like weren't trying to come after me over something that they didn't know about.
Right.
And that was it. I left it at that. I just explained my side, never bashed him or anything like that. Just explained what happened, broke down the scenario. And so he goes on this long rant on social media. I'm pretty sure he still is. I probably check my phone right now. I'm probably going to get Paul Tracy mentioned you in their story. And so at some point, I'm not going to waste my time and post stuff about something that's now irrelevant. And someone's got to be the bigger person. Someone's got to be the man in the argument, and it's obviously going to have to be me.
So now I'm moving forward to Nashville this weekend. Last race of the SRX series this year. Are you concerned? Or are you going to be watching over your back? Are you going to be trying to go after him as well? I mean, how are you feeling about that going into Nashville?
Going to Nashville, I'm doing my own thing. I'm going out there. I'm racing my race. I'm going to try to get the best finish I can. I don't hold grudges like that. And what happened last race ends last race, and it's been like that my whole career. You don't go and just tit for tat every single race. It's not how it works. So doing that wastes a lot of time and a lot of money. There's a lot of money involved in racing to do that stuff, and a lot of people's time wasted. So that's not something that I do and not something I'm about. Time is very valuable. And so I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go race my race. I'm going to try to do the best I can. If he wants to play childish games and bring up stuff that should have been let go the day after the race, he can do that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one looking stupid.
Okay, so let's say, though, I think that's an admirable approach going into the race. But then let's say, you're dueling it out. It's lap 50, and then PT gives you a side bump. Like, you're going to be able to, have the calm and the heat of the moment, or is that going to change a little bit?
I mean, I'm the type person, if you start something, I'm going to finish it. So if you don't want anything to start, don't start it. I'm not going to start it. You don't have to start it. But if you start something, I'm not going to let people walk all over me. I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to show that I'm not a person to be walked over.